Okay, I'm supposed to welcome us to this press conference. I suspect you all know about the Poor People's Campaign and about Reverend Barber and about poor people around the country beginning to come together as poor people. And that right there means that there's kind of a rupture in the way we're thinking about things and about politics, and about morality. One of the things about this campaign, which has its roots in Dr. King's Resurrection City and Dr. King's last days in attempting to do a Poor People's Campaign, there was a first Poor People's Campaign. It is that poor people have a specific view on things and a specific moral ground that we stand on. So this isn't just some economic fight, this is a moral fight. This is politics rooted deeply in morality. So it's no accident that persons of faith are involved with agnostics and atheists and folks of all types, because we all experience the same world, and if we're poor, we experience the same injustice. And if we're not poor, we experience and look at it and see it and need to look at it anew and become allied with it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to open with a song, but I'm going to take a little drink first. And we would love to have you all join us. This is not a hard song. We're starting with everybody's somebody's hurting my brother, somebody's hurting my sister, somebody's hurting our children, somebody's hurting our community. All right, are you ready?
Ready.
Somebody's hurting our brother, and it's gone on far too long, and it's gone on far too long, and it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting our brother, and it's gone on far too long, and we won't be silent anymore. Somebody's hurting our sister, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting our sister, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Somebody's hurting our children, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting our children, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Somebody's hurting our community, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. I tell you, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting our community, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Thank you. We welcome you. We are glad you are here. I am Pamela Poniatowski, a current tri-chair of the Rhode Island Poor People's Campaign. We are the national call for moral revival, and we are here because, sorry, my notes are here too. And we are here because there are 140 million people across the country that are poor and low wealth and that are not being spoken for in our policies that we lay down in our state houses. So this is a simultaneous movement across the country. At this point, it's 34 states. We are hoping that it will be all the states by the time we get to March 2nd for a national event.
and we will be again at the State House on the city side. We are dedicated to organizing the 140 million poor and low-income people in the nation with their advocates and moral allies around the 5 interlocking injustices. These are systemic racism, systemic poverty, ecological devastation and the denial of health care, militarism, the war economy, and the false moral narrative of religious nationalism. Our goals are to change the narrative around these interlocking injustices to build the power of poor and low-income people and move the political will to establish justice and promote the general welfare for all. When I became unhoused because of disability and the inability to make rent after working as a teacher for 20 years, I thought we had some kind of safety net. I had no idea that there is no housing, there are no programs that immediately swoop in to help you dig yourself out when you're in the middle of a disaster. It takes months, and all the while it's demoralizing. The worth of people cannot be attached to their money or their job. Their worth is because they are. We need the policies in our government to reflect that. So the Rhode Island Poor People's Campaign is here and organizing across Rhode Island to bring attention and power to the 337,000 people, or 32% of our Rhode Islanders. When we lift from the bottom, everybody rises. Thank you.
Kelly, would you spell your name for me, please?
P-A-M-E-L-A.
Right.
P-O-N-I-A-T-O-W-S-K-I.
Thank you. Where are you from?
Riverside.
Riverside. Thanks.
People that aren't here. So, we're gonna,
You all set?
no, sorry. Actually, why don't you take it?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pastor Carl Jefferson, and one of the tri-chairs of the Poor People's Campaign. And we are here today just to begin our 40-week awareness to what is going on within our nation. And as Pamela has stated, one of the tri-chairs to make light that over 30 some odd states today are gathering at state houses all around our country to cry aloud and to make it known of what's going on in our country, whereas many do not speak about, politicians do not speak about poverty, and we are here to bring to light that there are over 144 million people in our country alone that are dealing with living under a livable wage and trying to make ends meet. And so we are a national call for moral revival, where we are gathering and bringing together 140 million people all across our nation to deal with the systemic injustices that's already been stated around racism, poverty, systematic injustices, ecological devastation, and the denial of healthcare and militarism, and the false moral narrative of religious nationalism. So we're organized today to make it known, to make it heard. We as religious leaders, not only within Rhode Island, but also around our nation, are standing together to cry aloud and to bring people to the knowledge that this is a moral crisis. It's not just a political, it's not just an economic, but it is a moral crisis that is keeping our nation down, keeping people down. In fact, as we already know, and it's already been stated, that resources that we are crying out for, resources that are being placed in one area to be moved into another area. For every dollar going to a poor or low-income household stimulates the economy more than giving that dollar to the wealthy or to the war, or as we already know, how it can create and sustain communities. During the pandemic, we saw that 185,000 children in 118,000 households just in Rhode Island alone was built from the bottom up. So we have a question to our legislators. We have a question right here in Rhode Island where poverty should no longer be the fourth leading cause of death, not only within our nation, but even within our state, for we are part of a nation that is leading this fourth leading cause. So something that we may need to take note, as it's already been stated, as Pamela stated, there are 337,000 poor and low-income voters in Rhode Island alone. And we need our elected officials to take note that this is a serious epidemic that we find within our country. And so we're calling on those to begin to understand the seriousness, the importance of all of this. And as a Christian, as a pastor, as one who have to lead the charge, that we know that there are over 2,000 scriptures in the Bible alone that talk about how we are to challenge injustice and challenge those things that are going against the poor, the marginalized, women, children, immigrants, and those who are considered on the margins. For the reality is that there are tens of millions of people trying to make a living just off of less than $15 an hour. 80 million people who are underinsured or uninsured. We are a country where we are spending close to $80 billion on the war economy, where 54 cents of every discretionary dollar goes to the war economy. This movement is about bringing everyone together to address the injustices. We are here today to let it be known that poor people, clergy, advocates are coming together with demands. We, along with 30 other states around the country, have a list of demands to declare that poverty is a policy choice and that nearly 800 people a day, let me just say that again, 800 people a day are dying right now. 800 people will die this day in our country because of the policy murder that's been enacted at our local state house level. Therefore, 40,000 poor people have already died this year alone, as a witness that poverty is the fourth leading cause of death. Now we know that Jesus within the Bible said that a nation will be judged on how it treats its poor, the incarcerated, the homeless, the widow, and children. I want to ask Rhode Island, how have we done with the homeless? How have we done with the incarcerated, where there has been people dying and incarcerated in facilities in our state alone? How are we doing with the children as it pertains to housing? One of my congregants has been evicted, and she tried her best to contact every official, every place that could help her not be kicked out of her home, mind you, in the winter. And needless, everyone has turned their back on her right here in Rhode Island, with children being involved. So we are here today to speak to the elected officials and to do what Dr. Martin Luther King said, as we're thinking of Black History Month, to do the right thing, because it is the right thing to do. It is not a Republican issue. It's not a Democratic issue. It's not a black or white or race issue. It is a policy issue that is causing 800 people to die a day due to policy murder. And so we cry out, as the scriptures has caused us, from the Quran to the Torah, to the biblical text, that we call out to justice, that we are to cry aloud justice, that we are to create and call and speak truth to the powers that be. And so, as one of the tri-chairs here, calling for the state, calling for, regardless of what religious faith or background that you will come from, that this is a moral issue. And if we do not deal with this moral issue, woe unto us, because both the Quran, the Torah, and the biblical text says, woe unto those who legislate evil and who allows women, children to become their prey. And so this is why we are fighting. And on March 2nd, we're calling for all of those who are impacted, who are advocates, as well as religious and officials to come and let's make our voices known until somebody stops hurting our people, because it's gone on far too long. Amen.
Thank you.
This time we're going to have one of our people who have been impacted by what we just stated come at this time. Diamond.
Go, girl.
Sorry, I'm late. So I have a new dog, so for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Diamond. And
I'm sorry, your name is?
My name is Diamond.
Right.
Yes, and I'm one of the advocates here in the state of Rhode Island who's been through all of this right now. The reason why I'm going to speak today is because guys, gotta give me a minute. I haven't spoken about this person in almost 10 years. I had a good friend last year die on me. And before he died, he was homeless. Between homeless, prison, drug addiction. And all he wanted was a normal life, to be normal, you know.
It's okay.
You know, when he died, I lost a piece of me, you know.
Yes.
That was my rock. And before I lost him 2 years ago, you see my necklace I wear all the time now? This is my brother. For those of you that don't know, Master Corporal Sergeant Jesse Madsen. My brother never got to see me get clean. My brother never got to see me get housed. He never got to see me do the things I do because of a guy that just moved to Florida, got drunk. My brother was going home, and at 185 miles an hour down the highway. And if you know about the highways in Florida, they have the wrong way signals come on. The signal didn't come on. They hit my brother's car and threw my brother off the highway. He died instantly. So I've lost two people in 2 years. I'm still living in a house that's not safe.
Tell it.
You know, I'm not here for sympathy. It's one thing I don't need. I'm here because we need to fight for this. Because even me coming here today, there's people that are outside right now at Kennedy Plaza begging for housing. They have nothing. You know, and I can't do anything. You know, the only thing I can do is remember what country told me was stand forward. Remember what you came from. Why are you here to help the people? You know, he had one daughter, and he didn't even get to say goodbye to her when he died. When he died, I was with him I was with him up here on North Main Street. They were trying to send him to Woonsocket. It wasn't fair. I have no car. I have no transportation. I have a bus pass. I'm limited to what I can do, and we fought so hard to get him to hospice. I feel that if you're homeless, doesn't even matter if you're homeless, if you're unsheltered, if you're under any of that, and your family cannot drive or they don't have transportation, let them go somewhere where they can be in peace. You know, when he died, he was happy. You know, I was there. It was funny because he kept asking all the time, would I marry him before he died? And I said, no, I'm not the marriage type. I'm damaged goods. I don't know why you want to marry me, because I'm going to tear your world up. But before he died, I asked him to marry me, and he laughed. I remember I brought in my own, not that beast right there, but I have a Shih Tzu at home. I got to bring her into the house over there, and she knew he was sick. She knew he was dying. She got to actually lay on the bed. He got to touch her. You know, I remember the good times with him, you know. I don't remember the drug addict country, the drunken country. You know, all of us are not the same. We all have different stories out here. You know, I feel that everybody deserves a fighting chance. You know, you can't get better unless you try, or you get a group of people that really want to stand behind you 10 toes down and do this footwork you do. You know, a lot of you here know my story. I've been living in an apartment for 7 years. I just got heat this winter. I had no heat. I've been robbed twice as a kid, as an outreach worker out here on the street trying to help the homeless. I'm still living in my house right now, and right now, I'm sitting here right now at the State House. I still have no locks on my doors. I've asked the landlord for locks on my doors. I have no locks. The landlord told me that, which I'm trying to still figure it out, told me my cat broke a thermostat. I'm trying to figure out how a cat breaks the thermostat. That it cost $100. You know, I sit in this because I know it gets greater later. I just got my letter for University Heights to go next week to try to get the apartment there. I made my decision already. I'm going to stay there for a year because due to my health conditions, I have to go down south because my body can't take this. My asthma is too bad. I live in mold in my house. There's mold in my basement. It comes out. The little girls, there's 2 little girls that are upstairs from me. They're deathly sick right now. The parents are sick. We're trying to get somebody to come in that can do a mold test. When you don't have money to pay for this stuff, nobody wants to help you. You're stuck. Nobody cares. It's the same thing you always hear. It's not our problem. You should be happy you have this house. You could easily leave and we'll find some other tenants to live in there. Well, I'm sorry. I did 2 decades in the street. I fought my way out of the street. I'm not trying to go back to the streets. But I'm not trying to be disrespected anymore either. I'm a human being just like every one of you in this apartment, and no matter what happens in my life, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I have some little quirks I have to work out in my let me just say that Pastor Wayne's looking at me because he knows my vocabulary needs to, curb it a little bit, but I'm to the point of, if I'm respecting you, you should respect me. If you can't respect me, guess what? I got a venomous tongue right here, and it plays no games. I fight for what I believe in. I stand 10 toes down for what I believe in, and if I don't believe in it, and I don't really think that it's useful, I don't join in. I don't participate. I participate in things like this. This campaign, I love this campaign. And everybody that was with us last year, like having people here with us last year when we went to Washington, I was about to be homeless when I was in Washington. They were trying to keep me out of my apartment when I was doing something positive here. And this group of people here told me, it's okay, don't worry about it. Well, you know my answer. It's not you. Where am I going to live? Like, my health condition is bad. I can't live on the street. We made a way for it to happen, but it shouldn't happen to people like that. You're really trying to be a good tenant. You're really trying to be wholesome. You're trying to stay out of jail. You're trying to live. You're trying to help people in life. These things shouldn't happen to you at all. These bills need to change. I don't know what else to say. These bills need to change. And if you don't understand how these bills need to change, then maybe you need to sit down at a table and talk to some of these advocates that have been out here for these years, that have started in a shelter and made their way to that, like country. Was peacefulest guy in the world. If you would have saw him, and a lot of you guys know him here. Very articulate. You know Dwayne. Very articulate. And he never let you see him sweat. He never let you see him sweat. It was always a happy face, even though he went through what he went through. Before he died, he found out he broke his back twice. So it's like they put a cage around it, I guess, and then he broke it again. So we all made fun. We told him, instead of building a bear, they built a country again. Then we found out he had stage 4 cancer and lung cancer. That's when they took him to hospice. And he was okay with it. He made peace with it. He's like, this is what, I don't know how. I don't know what possesses people to be okay. You know, I suffer with major asthma right now, a COPD, and I'm not okay. I'm not. But I make my way to do these things because people need to hear these stories. Even if you don't care, you can sit here and tell me you care, but 9 times out of 10 you don't care. You're gonna go home to your family and say, oh, the poor, and I say it all the time, even though I shouldn't say it. That's how I feel. Oh, we sat in on a sit-in today and we heard the poor little black girl talk today. Maybe if she didn't do this, this, and this, it wouldn't happen. Well, let me help you right now. I got 2 decades clean off crack cocaine. My mama died from crack cocaine. My mama had me at 13 years old. I've been in the foster system all my life. I don't have a family. My family is Matheson Street Church. I don't know the right from the wrong. I've never had a job. I've worked myself to where I'm at now and still can't get a job out here. But when this shirt right here, this shirt means a lot to me. 4th leading cause is poverty. I don't have it. I got 2 little girls upstairs from my house. I make sure every day I feed these little girls. I make sure that if I have children's clothes, I give them to them because their parents don't have a lot of money so that they can have something. You know, my thing to you guys is, if you have a neighbor or you have a friend that's in trouble, it's okay to help them. You're not doing this to get brownie points. You're doing this because it's the human nature thing to do. If you don't have shoes, that's fine. You can give people a pair of shoes. I gave the little girls shoes. You know how happy they were? I give them blankets for these little girls. You know how happy? Like, it makes me happy because my kids are grown. I don't see my grandkids, but I know I can see these little girls upstairs and say, hey, every Sunday when I come home from church, I have something for them. And then I call my friends and ask them, hey, do you guys know anybody that needs something out here? Because you know what? It's the moral ethics to do right now. Times are hard. What you're paying us right now, these wages, you can't live off them. I got lucky. My rent is $9.25 for an apartment that's not worth it. I pay nothing as of next month. $240 of food stamps does not go far for one person. You have to pick and choose. Well, hey, do I want a loaf of bread this month? Do I want a gallon of milk this month? Do I want a dozen eggs this month? And to these people, if this stuff is okay, it's not okay. It's not okay. You need to talk to us. You need to understand it. Or, my famous answer that I always say is, how about you just strip down to bare nothing like us and go stay in a shelter? I'm taking your credit cards and your cell phone. You tell me what you want to stay in there. You gotta go through CES to get a shelter bed.
So,
It's gone on far too long.
it's gone on far too long.
We have to change this because people are dying on a daily basis.
Yes.
I don't know if any of you, before I finish, I don't know if any of you saw the news from yesterday. That's a prime example. Medium and ACI. Because the guy did not want to go back into his cell, you had corrections officers that attacked this guy to get him back. Hold on. Then you decide you want to mace the man. You don't put it on there how his condition is, but you put on there that, oh wait, when you maced him, you left it on the floor. But 5 of our officers got hurt. But you're not saying anything about that. But you're saying the violence is getting bad there. Why is your violence getting bad? You're not doing, there's no programs. There's nothing for these guys to learn in. Or you have to wait 8 months to get into a program. People want to change. We need to give them something to change for.
Yes.
I never wanted to change. I never thought in a million years I'd be doing stuff like this, and this was not what I planned my life to be.
About March 2nd, and now everybody needs to go.
I need y'all to be there March 2nd.
All right.
I will be there March 2nd. That 4-legged Belgian right there will be there March 2nd. Because I can't leave her home because she's my service dog in training. But March 2nd is an important day. If you want to know more about this, come talk to us. Instead of, yeah, we're gonna come out. Understand what's going on. Help us help them. I mean, I'm trying, honestly, March 2nd, I don't know where we're gonna be because I'm confused and Pam knows. With everything in my life, I can't keep track of everything, but like, I'm trying to get a table together where I can have donations, so in case anybody comes and needs something, it's gonna be there. That's my way of, like when these things say, everybody got a right to live. At least I know I'll have a pair of socks or something for these people.
Yes.
You know, think about that. What would you guys do? It's a cold day without a pair of warm socks on your feet, without a jacket on. You know, I'm gonna start collecting donations for this one. Because people need this stuff. And we're a big enough campaign around the whole world, I guess, right? World, United States. Yeah, that thing right there. That we can make a change for this.
Yeah.
We could do this. If we all of us just get together from different branches, we can make this change happen.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Dr.
Yes, thank you.
So poverty is a policy choice, as we know, and what we're hearing is situations where choices have been made and people are impacted by it. What we've heard today is Diamond's impact on policies that have been made to create situations she's in. So we want to just thank Diamond for her sharing as we continue with our program.
Yes.
Thank you, Diamond.
Thanks a lot.
Everybody's got a right to live. Can y'all say with me? Everybody's got a right to live.
Everybody's got a right to live.
Everybody has a right to live.
Everybody has a right to live. Well, good afternoon. I'm Mary Pendergast from the Sisters of Mercy. There are over 2,000 Sisters of Mercy of the Americas, and each one of them is standing here with me and behind me. And that is because for 200 years, nearly 200 years, the Sisters of Mercy mission has been to care for the poor, the sick, the uneducated, with particular emphasis on women and children. Now, the interlocking injustices of the Poor People's Campaign are poverty, equality, racism, the devastation of earth, militarism and the war economy, and the false narrative of religious nationalism. Interlocking means that they are interconnected. You cannot address one of these issues without another one popping up.
That's right.
You can't address poverty without inequality popping up.
You can't address inequality without racism popping up. You can't address racism without militarism and devastation of earth. You get the general idea. Well, these interlocking injustices of the Poor People's Campaign are practically identical with the critical concerns of the Sisters of Mercy. So much so that they might have been discerned at a chapter meeting of the Sisters of Mercy. It's as if there's a clear pattern emerging right now where everybody can see these issues. Certainly the discarded people see them, the struggling people see them, the religious people see them, and we are asking the political people to see them and to act on them.
Yes.
We have long heard the call to eradicate poverty, and we have envisioned a non-violent world with equality for all and justice for those on the margins, particularly women and children, immigrants, and refugees.
Yes.
So we, the Sisters of Mercy, will be marching on March 2nd to this lawn at the State House, and we'll be gathering at 10 o'clock at Gloria, or just shortly after 10, at Gloria Dei Church, which is just down the street, and we'll be marching here now. There are sister friends of mine who have said, well, I can't march any longer. So they're going to meet us here. They're going to be in lawn chairs, and they're going to be sitting on the lawn waiting for us.
Yes.
So if you are not able to walk for any reason, please bring a chair and sit right here and meet us when we get here. You've heard the call, don't sit this one out. Well, I'm telling you, you can sit this one out and still be standing up.
All right.
So it's going to take all of us, and so I'm asking you right now, forward together, not one step back. Thank you.
Join us on March 2nd. If you believe it's immoral to let 800 people die in this country every day by choice of the policymakers, by policy choice, if you believe we need to fight poverty and not the poor, if you have heard about these interlocking injustices and you see them and you understand them, join us. If you believe we can come together, join us. If you believe it's time for us to stand for a third reconstruction, to complete the work, and to be true to the promise that this can be a country for all of us, that this can be a country we can thrive, and that we can find the happiness that we are seeking for. If you believe that this is time for us to stand together, join us on March 2nd. We'll be here. Join us in every way you can, because we are not going to stay silent anymore. We're going to stand up together to put an end, to abolish poverty as the fourth leading cause of death in this country.
Yes.
Thank you.
We just want everyone to know that March 2nd is a national call for more revival. It will be happening in over 30 states across the nation, and Rhode Island is representing, and we would like you all to represent with us. And before we leave today, I'd like to teach you a song. So I would like to do an echo song. Are you ready?
Tracy.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There are more people that want to speak, and I do not.
Tracy.
Good. Go for it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Reverend Tracy Griffith, and I serve the Rhode Island State Council of Churches as their minister of community prayer. I'm honored to be here today. I was honored to be asked to say a few words and to support this group in whatever way we can. And to support the voice of the Poor People's Campaign and its work to shine a light on the poverty and inequality across our state and across our nation. In God's eyes, we are all holy and equally loved. My prayer is our legislators have a clarity of conscience to act honestly and fairly on behalf of all the people of Rhode Island, despite their socioeconomic status. It is now time to act. The time to act is now.
Yes.
Is act now. So thank you. So blessings to all. Thank you
so much. Thanks, Tracy, for being here.
Thank you.
Jason.
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
My name is Jason LaBelle. I represent the members of East Bay Citizens for Peace. We support civil dialogue and education and promote peace. We recognize that poverty and militarism are intertwined in the war economy. We'll be here on March 2nd.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patricia Fons. Everybody in Rhode Island knows me as Pat. And I'm here as a representation of the partner organization, partners to the Poor People's Campaign, called Pax Christi Rhode Island. Pax Christi Rhode Island is a group of about 8 or 10 people. We are a local chapter of Pax Christi USA, and Pax Christi USA in turn is a subsidiary of Pax Christi International. Pax Christi International was born at the end of the Second World War. Pax Christi USA formed after or during the Vietnam War, and Pax Christi Rhode Island about 20 years ago. Must have been Iraq, yeah, in the course of the Iraq War. You've heard about Tri-Chairs, the 3 people who run Poor People's Campaign in Rhode Island. You've heard about the coordinating committee. I've been a member of that personally for a while. So the 3 Tri-Chairs, the coordinating committee of maybe up to 30 people. And recently, Pax Christi Rhode Island voted formally to become a partner organization to the Poor People's Campaign and asked me, since I've been involved personally, to be the representative of the group at the Poor People's Campaign. I would just like to explain that the local chapters are free to choose issues on which they want to concentrate. And Pax Christi Rhode Island has 2 subcommittees. One is on nuclear disarmament, and the other is on anti-racism. So I can say that in terms of the 5 interlocking injustices of the Poor People's Campaign, we probably have the closest ties to the first one, systemic racism, and to the third one, the war economy and militarism. The name Pax Christi, for those of you who don't remember any Latin from school, or perhaps never had any Latin in school, Pax Christi means peace of Christ. So basically we are a peace organization. Within it, nuclear disarmament is one of our main aims, and systematic racism is one of our most enemies. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you.
I'm here in a double role. I'm a member of the coordinating committee of the Poor People's Campaign, but I'm also representing Just Peace Rhode Island. We have been working on legislation that is to create a just transition for people who work in the Rhode Island war economy, and so that they can be able to contribute to the common good rather than to make weapons of war. Just Peace Rhode Island.
Thank you. Okay, I don't think I forgot anything else. All right, before we end with our phrase, we're gonna learn a song real quick. And it's an echo song to make it easy, but I need y'all to sing because I don't want to be performing. Okay? Up over my head, I see justice in the air. Up over my head, I see justice in the air. Up over my head, I see justice in the air. And I really do believe. Oh yes, I really do believe. Change is coming out there. Change is coming out there. Thank you. You are all part of that change, and everybody that sees this live stream or any pictures, you are all part of this change in Rhode Island. We just ask you would come and be with us March 2nd at 11 o'clock at the State House. Thank you, and forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
And I'm being reminded that this is not just a press conference. We are also taking the demand delivery to our leaders in both the House and the Senate, so that they know what we are asking for and what the policies are that we'd like changed. We're going for a third Reconstruction.
All right.
Yeah.